Greetings and blessed day to you once again, people of God. It's yet another great week where we meet again in the Spirit to fellowship, to discuss and to resolve issues in the Spirit by the Spirit of Revelation. Hoping you had a great week in the presence of the Lord. And before we enter into the presentation of the day, I will just take you into a brief recap of what we covered in the midweek session. In the midweek session, we were focusing on the evolution of demons, which was the part 1. And in that evolution of demons, we were focusing on the regeneration of evils. And I explained in many dimensions and diversities of Revelation how the fallen angels, which are the demonic spirits, have managed to multiply in the spirit. And I gave you that whole cycle of how they multiply in the spirit, how they regenerate and fertilize in the spirit, using and basing on the conduct of the sin that has been committed by mankind. And today we want to enter into the part 2 segment of this presentation on the evolution of demonic spirits, part 2, the regeneration of demonic spirits. And today we are going to be broadening and enlarging the spirit of revelation to expand and reach certain borders in the spirit that we did not reach last time. So I hope every one of you is with me in spirit, so that you have a better understanding and knowledge of the word when it is being simplified by the spirit of revelation in the spirit. So for us to understand more on the evolution of demons, part 2, the regeneration of demonic spirits, let's get into scriptures in the book of Mark chapter 5 verse 1. And it reads, "And they came over unto the other side of the sea of Gennesaret. And when he was come out of the ship," and this was Jesus, "immediately they met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit." Just to take you a little back, before Jesus had arisen and took this journey with his disciples to the other side of the sea, in the country of Gennesaret, when Jesus had to wake up from the boat and stop a wind and calm a wind in the middle of the sea before reaching to the other side of the sea in the country of Gennesaret. And in Mark chapter 5 verse 2, when they had arrived in the country of Gennesaret on the other side of the sea, and when he was come out of the ship, immediately they met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling up among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not even with chains. I'm going to be revealing so that you understand the mystery about this man who had unclean spirits. But the issue does not only concern the fact that this man had unclean spirits, but there is a revelation that is hidden that needs to be unlocked concerning the status of how this man was possessed in the spirit. And this man had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, not even with chains, because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him. Meaning that this man would reach a certain point where he would break the chains and whatever was binding him at that particular moment. And always night and day he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones, which was also an evident factor that the level of possession that was on this man was not an ordinary demonic possession, which needs to be explained by revelation, even though the scripture defines what kind of possession was haunting this man. But when he saw Jesus far off, he ran and worshipped him. And he cried with a loud voice and said, "What do I have to do with you, Jesus, Son of the Most High God?" This was already an evil spirit that was speaking inside this man, which ran and worshipped Jesus. And the evil spirits already know Jesus, because Jesus being the Son of God and Jesus being the King of Kings, these evils, before they even fell from heaven, before they became cursed as evil spirits, they were stars in heaven, the angels that were not yet cursed. And these are the same angels that worshipped Jesus while in heaven. So they know who this one is upon Jesus appearing in the country of Gennesaret. They know that this one that has come is not an ordinary being, but a God in the spirit. But when he saw Jesus from far off, he ran and worshipped him. And he cried with a loud voice and said, "What do I have to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of the Most High God? I adjure thee by God that you must not torment me." For he said unto him, "Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit." And these were the words that came from Jesus' mouth. And this is the part that I need you to listen to, people of God. The very part when Jesus then is asking the evil spirit upon casting it out. And Jesus is asking, saying, "What is thy name?" And he answered, saying, "My name is Legion, for we are many." How is it possible that one evil spirit is answering on behalf of many other evil spirits, but at the same time, while it's answering on behalf of many other evil spirits, it speaks on its own behalf? My name is Legion, which is a name which is signifying one demonic spirit. But this demonic spirit is not speaking on behalf of itself. It's speaking on behalf of many other evil spirits that are possessing this man. But the representation in which the demonic spirit has answered, it has answered on behalf of many other evils. But the evils that it has answered on behalf of are not just evil spirits which are separated from this demonic spirit. They are evil spirits that are now evident that they did not enter this man, but they manifested out of that demonic spirit and multiplied within from one evil spirit. I need you to understand what I'm saying, because these are not just evil spirits that came and flocked inside one man, but these are evil spirits that were regenerated and they multiplied from one major demon that is answering on behalf of many other evils. And at that very moment, it is now evident that Jesus is not only responding to one evil spirit, he is responding, or he is casting out many evil spirits that have found a home and a place inside one body. It's such a mystery to learn and to understand the mystery of how many evil spirits can enter and dwell inside one body. And I'm going to be proving to you later on that these are not evil spirits that entered the body one after the other, but this was a manifestation of many evils that were being reproduced in the spirit from one demonic spirit that was possessing one body. I'm talking about the regeneration of many evils inside one demonic spirit, which is a cycle of demonic evolution, a manifestation of many evils representing one evil spirit, which is a representative of evil inside one possession of the body. And at that very moment, after Jesus had asked, "What is thy name?" and he answered as Legion, saying, "We are many." And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. This was still one evil spirit, even bargaining and asking that Jesus does not cast them out of the country, but drives them into a certain place. And what is this place? Now there was there nigh unto the mountains a great hedge of swine feeding, and all the devils besought him, saying, "Send us into the swine, that we may enter into them." And forthwith Jesus gave them a leave, and the unclean spirits went out and entered into the swine, and the herd ran violently down into a steep place into the sea. Now I need you to understand that it's quite evident that the number of demons that were inside this man that had multiplied, they chose to enter into pigs because they had already calculated how many pigs were there, according to the number that they had already manifested and multiplied. And the unclean spirits went out and entered into a herd of swine, which ran violently down into a steep place into the sea. There were about 2,000. And you can imagine 2,000 demons entering into one man. And how did they enter? They regenerated from one demonic spirit that gave birth to many other evil spirits. In a cycle that happens, in the sense that when an evil spirit regains power and regains a certain ground or regains a certain level of influence, it does not only expand by having more power only, but it expands by multiplying itself inside one body. And they that were part of that city, they went out to see what it was that had been done by Jesus. And they came to Jesus, and seeing him that was possessed with the devils, and the legion sitting and clothed and in his right mind, they were afraid. And they that saw it told how it befell to him that was once possessed with the devils, and also concerning the swine. I'm not going to read further what happened there, but I can assure you that the pigs that ran violently down into a steep place and they drowned, they did not stay inside those pigs, because an evil spirit does not stay inside anything that is dead, unless it's an evil spirit that is designed to go and dwell on a mountain. But any evil spirit that is supposed to possess a living thing or moves anything that is an object. But when it comes to possessing, it has to possess something that is breathing, something that is kicking in the spirit. So the moment the pigs, the swine died inside the river where they drowned, it's evident that these evil spirits, they also multiplied and entered into the people that then drove Jesus out of that city, which was now persecution. Now I need us to go to the book of Luke chapter 11 verse 21, so that I understand with a level of revelation, and then I manifest this knowledge that I'm sharing with you at another level. And it reads, "When a strong man who is armed keepeth his palace, his goods are in peace. But when a stronger one comes than him, he shall come upon him and overcome him. He taketh from him all his armor that he trusted on, and divides his spoils." The issue that I need you to underline there is dividing the spoils. How do you divide the spoils among what doesn't exist? Because this is one that is stronger coming and binding one that is also strong, and after binding the one that is strong, the scripture is telling us about the division of spoils. How do they get divided, and where do they get divided? Among who and who? This is the same issue, people, that when a strong as evil spirit comes and it binds one that is strong in the spirit, other in the spirit of the Lord, or it binds a stronger demon because it is the strongest demon, it doesn't only bind, but it also multiplies in power and influence. But the multiplication is not just the multiplication as in the addition of power, but the multiplication of many evils that regenerate and then possess a certain territory or possess a body. And Jesus at that very point of time when he was teaching, he says, he that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scatters. Anything that scatters is something that divides. Means if an evil spirit that has come to possess you and has got a mandate to multiply itself after defeating you, if you get bound to be defeated by that spirit, you don't only get defeated, you get scattered and you get divided. Whatever source of influence or whatever power status that you hold inside you, because whatever is possessing you is coming not only to bind you but to divide you and to scatter you, because whatever is possessing you is coming not only to possess but to multiply within you. And Jesus goes further, saying, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walks through dry places seeking rest and finds none. And he saith, I will return unto my house where I came out from. And when he cometh again to check, he finds it swept and garnished. Why? Because there has been a casting, a deliverance, manifestation that has happened, in the sense that this person has been going through deliverance sessions and has been freed from many evil spirits that were possessing him. And there's a specific point of time when that demon has to go and check the vacance, the status of whether there is now a new occupant inside that vacant space, which is the spiritual body of a human being. And it finds the space swept, empty and clean. And what does it say to itself? When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, and then he comes back, I explained that, and when he comes back again, he finds it swept and garnished, and then he goes back and takes with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. Now, this level that I'm explaining here is not just a multiplying status, but it is the addition of many other spirits, many other evil spirits that then come and dwell inside that one body. So besides the issue of demonic spirits regenerating or evils multiplying inside one body, the same evil spirits that multiply inside one body, they have a capability of attracting many other evils to come and dwell in a certain vacant space or a vacant body. Meaning that the issue goes beyond just regeneration, but the issue goes an extra mile to a space being possessed by evils that have added in numbers. So multiplying to some extent is addition, but multiplying from within is another level. But this is another level whereby evils are able to summon each other, to call out each other, to go and dwell inside that one body. Besides the level of regenerating, they can also add in, not only in the dimension of multiplying, but in the dimension of adding in numbers. So people of God, I hope someone has understood in the evolution of demons part 2 that demons have a capacity beyond just multiplying and regenerating inside the body, but they have the capability of also not only multiplying but adding in numbers. So there are many forms of deliverance, but those forms of deliverance, they require many processes of deliverance, because you are not dealing with only one spirit. that has possessed a human being, but many spirits that have multiplied and added inside that body. Until next time, people of God, have a great blessed day.